Hi guys, and welcome to the CRM Part 1 webinar. Now, today we'll be going over how you're going to follow up with any buyer leads that come into your system from the website. In order to follow along, you're just going to have to watch my screen. I will be recording today's session, so should anybody have any questions, you can go ahead and use the chat function. Today is a live session, so as you type, I will be answering as we go along. You won't need your logins for the CRM system for the training. However, if you don't have access to your CRM, please do let me know by email. My email address is rhea@agentlocator.ca, and that way I can make sure I send your logins as soon as today's session is over. Now, today's session will be recorded, so you will receive a copy of today's session shortly thereafter. We're finished. If you do not receive it, please let me know again by email, and I will make sure I send you a link to the recording. Alternatively, while you guys are in the system, you do have the ability to go to our online help desk. For those of you who don't know, it is called Zendesk. And with Zendesk, I do actually link all of the recorded training. So you guys have the ability, this is what Zendesk looks like. You're going to see the option where it says Agent Locator Webinars. You can just go ahead and click on it, and it'll have all of the different webinars that have been completed. And all you have to do is click on the link, and the recorded versions will be there for you to have a look at. Now, once you do log into your CRM system, this is essentially what you're going to see. I will start off by explaining the different parts of the home screen. So you're going to have in the top navy blue, the main menu. Traditionally, you're only going to use the first few. Today's session, because I'm just going over basic training, I will go over home, tasks, live leads, and partial leads. You will need to attend the CRM Part 2 webinar to learn more about the other settings. Now you will have the search bar here. So if you're looking for a particular lead, go ahead and enter in their name, a phone number, and email address. You can also search by the different filter types here, and then go ahead and click on search. You can filter alternatively in groups by using the filter options on the left-hand side. You can also access your street match leads, which I'll get into a little bit later. If you need to manually enter a lead, you're going to see it here by clicking on create new lead, and just enter in the information as needed. Now you are going to see on the home page, which is the most important section, is the My Lead section. So this My Lead section is going to sort all of the leads that come into your CRM. It will show you from newest to oldest. Now, a couple of things, it automatically shows you 10 per page. If you need to or would like to see more than 10 per page, you can click where it says show 10 per page and can scroll up to about 500 contacts. I highly recommend that you leave it as is, for the simple fact of the more leads you show on this page, the longer it's going to take for that page to load. Another default setting is it only will show you the leads that you've received in the last 30 days. If you do want to see all of the leads in your system, or you want to sort by a specific date range where it says last 30 days, that is a drop-down menu, and then you can search appropriately. Now, I'm going to go on to one of my fake websites, and I'll actually show you how a lead comes into the system, and we'll be able to track essentially what that lead has done on the site. Now, your lead can go to the community section at the top. They can click the search option here. They can also click on the featured neighborhood sections. Now, I am just going to do a quick search of Milton. Now, as I click on Milton, all of the properties are going to show up here. I am going to click on this property on Appleby Line. Now, as soon as I click on the property, the system is going to ask me to register using my email address. So I am just going to make up an email. I'm going to click on sign in. Now the system is going to ask that user to enter in their first name, their last name, as well as a cell phone number. Please note that it does let them know that their cell phone number is going to be used as their password. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on register. Now a couple of things are going to happen. As I click on register, you, the agent, are going to receive an email to let you know that a new lead has registered. A new other lead. So anytime you see new other lead, just note that means that the person was looking at listings and the system asked to register. Whenever you see new other lead, that means that you need to manually add the person onto the campaign. So you're going to have to follow the steps that I'm taking today. The second thing that happens once the lead registers, they, as the lead, will receive an email thanking them for registering on your website. In that email, it will tell them what their username is, it will tell them what their password is, and they will also have a link in order to validate their account. Now, keep in mind, most people, I would probably say about 40% of the users do choose to validate their account. You'll notice now some of the listings will ask me to validate. If I choose not to validate, I just won't be able to see those specific listings on the website. Your user also has the ability to go ahead and refine their search as needed. So let's say I want to look for a detached from 600, I'll say 900,000. Any refinements that the lead makes on the left-hand side of your site will show up in the back-end system. We also do track every single listing that the person is looking at after they register. So I'll just go ahead and click on a few listings. Now, if at any point in time you guys have any questions, please do use the chat function to the right of your screen. I am checking it quite frequently throughout today's process. Now I've gone ahead and I've looked at a few listings, so I'm going to go back into my CRM system and I am going to refresh my screen. You'll see as I refresh my screen, the new lead has come in. Again, lead type is other, which means that the person was looking at listings and was asked to register. And you'll also see the lead's name. Now, in order to access that lead's profile, you do need to go ahead and click on the lead's name. Once I do that, it will bring you to the leads profile. Couple things you want to take note of is on the left-hand side, it does show you a map. The map will pinpoint for you with 99% accuracy the city that the person was located in when they registered. And this is done by getting the internet service provider's hub's location. So that's why we say it's 99% accurate, but you will have a good idea that where that person is located. You'll also see the system notes. So this will let me know what property the person clicked on in order to register. If they chose to validate their account, that would also be in the system notes. If they wanted to book a showing or anything else, or they registered or signed up for another service on your site, that would all show up in the system notes section. Next thing you want to do when the lead comes in is we do want to click on the activity tab, which is down here, and this will actually let us know exactly what the person was looking at in order to register. So as you can see here, it will show me what I clicked on after I registered. So it's showing me that I looked at 5 properties, and you're going to notice on the left-hand side is the analysis section. The analysis section is just going to give me a summary of what that person clicked on. So I know the average price of property I'm looking at is $813. Views represents the amount of unique properties I clicked on. Average bedrooms is 4. And then it'll let you know the property types that I clicked on. In this case, all 5 were detaches. It'll let me know the city, and within the city, the community. Now, if anybody's having any issues connecting to the webinar before I continue at any point in time, please go ahead and click on the reconnect button, which is located in the bottom portion of your screen. Now it is going to show you the 5 properties that I looked at. In the top left-hand corner, it will tell you how many times I looked at that property. In the bottom right-hand corner of the picture, it will tell you how long ago it was. If you want, you can always place your mouse and hover over the picture, and it will tell you the price, address, and MLS number of that specific property. Now, please keep in mind, these are online leads. You don't have to put too much thought into what they're clicking on, so you don't need to go into your own MLS system and research it. Now, if they have looked at one property like 20 times, so it's definitely something you know they're interested in, what I would recommend that you do is just click on the property picture, and it will take you to the listing on realtor.ca. Now, it's only going to take you or myself to realtor.ca, meaning people with admin access to your CRM system. It will never take anybody who was looking at listings on your site off of your site. So therefore, they will never see the link to realtor.ca. This is only for the admin purposes. Additionally, you're going to see on the right-hand side of the screen that yellow box. That yellow box is going to let you know what refinements that person made. So here you can see that I was looking in Milton for a detached. I didn't specify any bedrooms or bathrooms, but my price range is from $600,000 to $900,000. Now, does anyone have any questions in regards to the activity tab? Now, again, like I said, the search that we're going to create for that user will be done through the system. And because it's an online lead, if I haven't spoken to them, you're definitely going to make a pretty vague search. You don't need it to be too detailed. We can go off of the information here, just Milton detached 600 to 900. It's up to you if you want to add in the average bedrooms or not. Now, after you look at the activity tab, the next step that we suggest that you do is for you to call that lead. Calling the lead within 5 minutes from the time that they registered is actually very important. If you wait any longer than that, you do risk the opportunity of or decreasing your chances of converting that lead. So please make sure if you can, you call that lead as soon as possible. Now, when you call that lead, what you want to do is click on the calls tab, which is located underneath that person's name. From here, you're going to see where it says talk to lead. That is a drop-down menu. So you do have the ability to actually select exactly what happened when you spoke to that person. Keep in mind, depending on what option you choose, it does actually color code the person's phone number on another screen, which I will show you later on. Now, in this case, I'm going to put called, no message left. You'll also notice that there's a text box down here, so you can actually specify what happened. Maybe you called and the voicemail has a different person's name on it, or maybe it's the correct name. So I'm going to say got voicemail, correct name. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on save call. Now, every time you log a phone call in, the number in between the calls in the brackets is going to increase. So you'll know right away without actually going ahead and going through your notes how many times you've actually tried to reach out to that person. Now, you'll also see that any notes that I put into the call section do show up on the note tab as well. Therefore, you're not going to have to go back and forth in between the two screens. Now, here's some tips you don't have to follow. However, make sure when you call that lead the first time, my recommendation is do not leave a voicemail. You want to wait until your 4th or 5th call to do so. Many people will call you back just out of pure curiosity. So if I were you, don't leave any messages. If you know that it's a cell number, I would recommend that you text that number if you don't get a hold of them on the phone. Now, whether or not I get a hold of the person on the phone, either way, you're going to set all the leads up to receive listings from our system. And the way that you're going to do that is by clicking on the email campaign tab. You're going to see where it says month later follow-up. That is a drop-down menu. So from here, I'm going to click on buying lead campaign, and then we're going to click on add lead to campaign. Now, as soon as I click on add lead to campaign, you're going to see that the screen has refreshed on its own and the buying lead campaign has populated. right away, guys, you want to stop buyer email 1 from going out. Now, the reason why I want to stop it is buyer email 1 is set to go out from 5 minutes from the time that I clicked on add lead to campaign. Buyer email 1 looks like this, where it's going to say, hi, first name, recently you registered to receive listings in blank city with a price range of blank. Now, these email templates you physically do not have to alter. The system is going to populate everything in these square brackets. So the system is going to populate the city and the price range from the search that we create. Now, if you've chosen not to stop buyer email 1, just note that you have 5 minutes to create the search. If you do not stop the email and you do not create the search in time, the person is going to receive the email just like this, which is obviously something that you do not want. So I say just get into the habit, stop buyer email 1 from going out, and then we can just click on the activate button once we're done. Now, in order to create the search, there's 2 ways to do it. There's clicking on change listing search. This really is the easiest way to create the search, so I'm not going to show it to you. The other way that you can create the search is V2, which just stands for version 2. Now, when I click on V2, looks a little bit different, blank on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, it has all of the different filters that we can use. Now, do keep in mind, every time you create a search, you need to use the city filter and you need to use the price range filter because the buyer email 1 populates that information. So I'm going to click on city, then I have to type in the name of the city, so I'm just going to type in Milton and add filter. Now I'm going to do list price. Now the list price filter is something that you're going to use twice. You're going to use it once for the min and once for the max. So once I click on list price, it's already set to prices equal to or greater than. So here I'll enter in my min amount. So I'm putting in 600,000. Please note, I'm not using any dollar signs or commas, just the numbers. And then I click on add filter. Now I'm going to do list price again. This time where it says price is equal to or greater than, I'm going to click on the drop down and select price is equal to or less than. And from here, I'll do 900,000. And then same thing, I'll click on add filter. So it's letting me know in Milton, in this price point, there's 25 properties found. This honestly is good enough on its own. I really don't need to go further. I don't need to click on property type. I wouldn't need to do bedrooms. But because this is a training, I am going to go ahead and continue. So in order to select the property type, I'm going to use the type of home filter. The type of home filter looks like this. So I'm just going to scroll down, select detached, and click on add filter. Now, if the person was looking at more than one property, please make sure you click the control key on your keyboard to select the additional property types. You'll notice as I added in detached, my results went from 25 to 17. I can continue by adding in the bedroom filter. So I'm going to click on bedrooms. The bedroom filter looks like this. Now, do keep in mind, if I just select 4, it's only going to look for 4 bedrooms. If I'm okay with 4 plus, I just want to highlight the two numbers underneath. And again, you would do that by holding down the control key on your keyboard and then just click on add filter. So it's now letting me know that there's 10 properties found in Milton from 600 to 900,000 that are detached with 4 or more bedrooms. If you want to get an idea of what properties are being sent, just click on preview top 12. This will show you those properties. If you're okay with the results, you want to click on save and email listings. As soon as I click on save and email listings, that V2 screen will close. I'll notice in the system note that it does let me know that a change to the listing search was made using the V2. Therefore, I know my search has been saved, so I can now go ahead and activate buyer email 1 from going out. Now, before I continue, does anyone have any questions in regards to setting up the search, whether it be using the V2 or whether you're going to select the change listing search? Now, it is important, and another reason, guys, why I suggest that you stop buyer email 1 from going out. As you notice, to create the search itself takes less than 5 minutes. Without explaining, and as you're comfortable with the system, creating a search should take you no more than 20 seconds. It really is not that long of a process. One of the reasons additionally why I tell you to stop buyer email one from going out is I do understand how the industry works. So for example, let's say I am adding somebody onto the campaign and then your phone rings or you get an urgent email, etc. Then you're kind of going to be distracted. There is the chance that that 5-minute time period will go by rather quickly. And then you've not had enough time in order to create the search, and that buyer email one goes out as the templated version. So in an effort to make sure that you guys are always presenting yourself in a professional manner, I do still recommend that you click on the stop button, even if you know that you can go ahead and create that search rather quickly. Another thing I do want to remind you guys, and I'll go back into that V2, is whenever you create a search, do pay attention to the total results found. Please, please make sure that total results found is not 0. If it's 0, something is wrong with the search. And if you save it, the person's not receiving listings and that doesn't look good on you. Also, I would recommend try to be 80 listings or less. So if you see that there's 90 listings, I would refine more. Now, how are you going to refine? Maybe add in bedrooms, maybe make the price range a little bit smaller. So instead of 600 to 900, I could do 700 to 900. So play around with the filters. Now, if you need to remove a filter, so let's say you were changing the price range, all you have to do is click on the X, and then the price point will be removed, and then you can just use the filter again. Now, you'll also notice because I removed the min price, leases are showing up. So it's very, very important that you do add in a min and a max, therefore the leases don't show up. If the person is okay from going 0 to 900,000 and you only want sales to show up, please go ahead and use the for sale or for rent filter and just highlight sale and then add filter. So there are ways to get around it, but just make sure you're aware if leases are going to be sent out or not. Now, somebody's asking, is this manual add to the campaign an option for leads that come in when somebody registers with their email? Leads are manual when they come in from this particular method. So when the lead came in by looking at listings and they were required to register, it is a manual need for you to add them to the campaign. Now, why is it manual? That's actually quite a few reasons. Because the system, if it was automatic, the system would only be able to go off of the analysis section from the search. Now, if somebody was really looking for a property that was around 700,000, but ended up clicking on a $3 million property out of pure curiosity, then the whole price point that they're looking at would change drastically. And if the search went off of that, they would no longer be receiving listings of value. Times that it's automatic is, let me see if now, depending on if they come from a landing page on your site. So for example, this is another fake site I have. If the person came from your buyer landing page, which is the get listings in your inbox, here the user is specifically going to let the system know where they want to look. It'll let them know what price range they're looking in, what type of property, the bedrooms and bathrooms that they need. When somebody comes in from here, their lead type is going to be home buyer. When somebody comes in as a home buyer, they're automatically set up on the buyer campaign. Now, for agents, this is great for you because the lead's automatically setting themselves up. You essentially don't have to do anything. As the website visitor, the downfall for the landing page is I have to go through all of these steps before I actually see listings. And quite frankly, website visitors or home buyers, they prefer to see the listings first before they give out information. So it's really a catch-22 depending on which way you want to go, but you can try both avenues and see which one works best for you. I will go over some of the other landing pages that are available on the site, and I will explain which ones you're manually going to respond to and which ones you don't. Now, with our system, as the emails go out, they will go out on a set date and time. So you can actually see the set date and time that they're supposed to go out. Each action in the buyer campaign is automatic, meaning you don't have to do anything. So this buyer campaign goes for 25 days. So day one, they're going to receive buyer email one, which is that summary email, and they will receive the first set of listings. Now, day 2 to day 7, they're going to receive daily follow-up content emails. These emails are each different in content. They're typical follow-up emails that you guys would ask. So for example, buyer email 2 is going to ask them if they've been receiving the listings. Buyer email 3 is going to ask them if they need a change to their search. Buyer email 4 will go over their timeline, etc. Now, if there are new listings to the market that match the criteria that you've entered in for them, they will also receive a listing email on that day. So it is very possible day 2 to day 7 that they receive 2 emails from you. Now, day 8 to day 24, you're going to notice there's nothing here. The reason is day 8 to day 24, the only thing that they're receiving from our system are listings, again, provided that there are new listings to the market that match the criteria that you have entered in. If there is nothing new, they will not receive a listing email from you on that particular date. Now, if the person gets to the end of the campaign, which is day 25, so that means if they've not responded to you in 25 days, they're going to get this email. We refer to it as the stop campaign email. I do forewarn you, it's a bit aggressive. So it basically tells them that you've tried to get in touch with them several times with no luck, and unfortunately, you're going to stop sending them listings. Once this email goes out, the campaign is automatically stopped, and that person will not receive any listings from you going forward. They will receive an email 30 days from the stop date asking them if they're still looking. Now, if you have spoken to that lead, that could be whether it's via the phone, via email, or via text, you definitely don't want them to receive this email. So as soon as you do have any kind of communication with that lead, what you want to do is on the right-hand side of the screen, you want to click on Keep Listings and Stop All Others. Once you do that, every single email that has not gone out, that's a content email, will be stopped. So I'm going to click on Keep Listings and Stop All Others, and right away you'll see buyer email 2 and down will be stopped. So you only click on Keep Listings and Stop All Others when you've had communication with that lead. Do not stop the follow-up emails from going out if you've not spoken to that lead. Now you'll notice buyer email 1 says yes finished. Yes finished means that the email has gone out. You can actually track what emails have been sent out by clicking on the email tab, which is just to the left of the email campaign tab. When I click on the email tab, you're going to see the 2 emails that have gone out. It will let you know the status, so whether the email has been opened or not. In this case, it hasn't been opened. If it was opened, it will tell you the date and time that the person opened the email. Now, another thing, if the email address does not exist, the email campaign would stop on its own, and there would be a system note here letting you know that the email bounced. In this case, theria@gmail.com is a valid email, and somebody would have received these emails. Now, if you want to know what listings have gone out to that user, you can actually check by going to the VOW tab. The VOW tab just stands for Virtual Office Website. It will keep track of all of the listing emails that have gone out. It'll let you know the date the email went out. It'll let you know how many listings were in that email and whether it's been viewed or not. To see the listings that were sent out in that particular email, just click anywhere in this row, and the 10 properties are going to populate on the right-hand side. As of right now, you'll notice all of my listings have a white background because that's just letting me know that the listing has not been viewed. Now I'm going to quickly go into another lead. That way you can actually see what it looks like when somebody has opened up a listing. So this is another lead I have in the system. You'll see here it has all of the dates the listing emails went out. It'll let you know how many listings were in the email and yes, whether it's been viewed or not. You can click anywhere into the row, and anything that they clicked on will have a purple background. We will know the date that the listing was looked at, the time. It'll let us know whether it was a full view or a partial view, and it will also track the IP address. Now, every time somebody opens up an email, their map location is going to change based upon where they're located. So this person was located in Toronto today at 9:30 this morning. Now, we don't expect you to go through every single lead and check their email and their VOW tabs, because that, quite frankly, is going to be far too time consuming. So if you want to know who's opening what, you're going to use the tab at the top, which is the Live Leads tab. The Live Leads tab will have all of your leads on the page. However, it's going to be sorted from whoever has been active most recently. Now, active for us is somebody who has either opened up an email or somebody who has come back onto your website. Now, you'll notice my first 3 leads have green boxes. Anybody who has a green box means that the person has been active in the last 5 days. The first box will represent the time that they were last active. The second box will represent how many days in the system they've been registered. Anybody who has orange boxes means that they've been active since registering, but it's been greater than 5 days. And if somebody's boxes are gray, it means that they've been entered into the system but never been active. This screen is absolutely wonderful for a summary of the lead. It will let you know the lead's name. It'll tell you their location when they were active. It'll give you their phone number. Now, you'll notice my PPC video, their phone number is green, and that's because I marked that lead from the call log as talk to lead. My just in case, that person's phone number is red because I specified it was the wrong number. So it will color code the phone numbers for you. You'll also see the person's email. It will let you know how many emails the person has opened out of how many have been sent. So in this case, I've opened up 259 of the 660. Some emails are green because the person actually validated their account with their email address. Now, most of them don't validate, but that's okay because we can see how many they're opening. So we'll have a good idea of whether or not that person's email address is real or not. Now, does anyone have any questions? We do have the ability to send out a birthday or a special day email blast. That is something that I will cover in the CRM part 2. It will not go out automatically. So if you enter in the person's birth date into the details section, the birthday will be there. However, the happy birthday email will not go out automatically. That's something that you're going to have to manually set up. That can be done through just a sending of an email. That can also be done through a mass email. But again, that is something that I'll go over in the CRM part 2. If I do have time before 12 o'clock today, I will go over it and show you how to send out that email. Now, one of the other things that's super, super important for you guys is creating follow-up tasks for your leads. We do recommend that you call all leads every other day for the first 21 days in order to convert them. Or it could be that somebody says, hey, can you call me back on Saturday? I'm kind of busy right now. So in that case, you do want to create a follow-up task to remind yourself to call that person. So that can be done by clicking on the task tab. With the task tab, you're going to see an option for a quick task or a custom task. Both work. Quick tasks looks like this, where you're just going to specify how many days from today's date. If I choose a custom task, I do have the ability to add in a little bit more information. So I can go into subject and I'm going to say follow-up call. Due date, it will give me a calendar so I can select that I want to call them Friday. You can add in a due time. So in this case, I'm going to say 6 p.m. If I have comments or things that I want to remember for that task, I can add them into the comment section. And when I'm done, I can click on save. Now, if you want the system to create a reminder for you for this particular task, what you can do is just double click on the task name, and you're going to see a reminder section down here, and the system can send you an email reminder. You specify how many minutes before the due time you want to receive that reminder. The other thing that the system can do is it will send you an email of any tasks that you have due on a particular day. So for example, if I want to know what tasks I have due on the 18th of January, the system will email me between 6 and 6:30 January 18th of any tasks that I have due that day. If you want that alert set up in your account, you need to go to settings and you need to go to manage alert. Once you do that, where it says receive daily reminders about tasks, please make sure this is set to yes, and then highlight not started and in progress. And then when you're done, go ahead and click on save settings. You'll know that your settings have been saved because a notification alert will show up at the bottom. Now, alternatively, if you want to know what tasks you have due that day, you can also click on the task tab at the top of the screen, and that will show you any tasks that you have to do, whether it's overdue. Now, if you're setting up tasks, please make sure you mark them as done when you're finished. That way yours does not look like mine, where I have tasks due from April. So somebody is asking, the lead info that you're showing us to set up in a campaign for listing is only received if we have forced option to sign up to view listings. That is correct. If you have chosen to not have any lead registration settings or lead capturing settings on your website, the only way that the lead will register from your website is if they click on the contact form or if they want to book an appointment on one of your listings. If you do so, just note if you've turned off your registration settings, the likelihood of you getting many leads is going to be slim to none. So we do recommend that you keep the registration settings on your site. It is something that Agent Locator has tested, and for the most part, you will get a good quality lead by keeping the registration settings up. However, totally up to you. If you are having a website up and it's not really to generate leads, then by all means take it off and you can let people browse listings as they want. Now, I did want to go over some of the other landing pages that are on your sites. So I already showed you the buyer landing page. There's a few other. One second. So you do have the quick home market evaluation, which is your seller page on your site. If somebody fills out the quick home market evaluation, they will come in with a lead type of home seller, and Agent Locator does nothing with those leads because these are leads really you should be contacting right away and trying to get an appointment. Oh, that didn't work. So there is the Homeworth landing page, which looks like this, maybe not exactly like this. Your background might just be a different picture. With this, again, somebody wants to know how much their home is worth. They will come in as a home seller lead. And again, we do absolutely nothing with the lead other than notify you that you have it. There is a Street Match lead. So generally your Street Match lead is the guy peeping over the fence. With a Street Match lead, they will come in as Street Match. With that as well, once the person goes into the Street Match page, they will actually select a radius around their home. Therefore, the Agent Locator system will automatically send them listings in the radius that they have selected. So with the Street Match lead, they're already set up on the campaign. The only thing you have to do is call them. The other landing page that you have is the Condo Worth page. So if you come up from here, the lead type will be Condo Worth. And again, our system does nothing with them other than notify you that you have them. So to recap, the ones that will automatically have information going out is if somebody comes from the buyer landing page, they will have a home buyer lead type. They are automatically set up to receive listings on the campaign. If somebody comes in from the Street Match the Street Match landing page, they will have a lead type of Street Match, and they are automatically set up as well. Every other lead type, you're manually doing some kind of follow-up with them. Now, if somebody comes on the landing page and they only give us their address, so Street Match and Homeworth, both of them are two-step processes where the person is going to give us their address, and then it's up to us to follow up. Now, when they come in with their address, we don't have a phone number or a name. So we refer to them as a partial lead. When you go to the partial lead screen in your main menu, what you will see is the address only. It's up to you if you want to follow up with the lead. Keep in mind, I don't have a name, I don't have a phone number, I don't have an email address, I only have the physical address that they typed in. You will be able to see what page they tried to register on, so whether it's Street Match, CondoWorth, Homeworth, etc. Now, if you want to do something with the partial leads, my recommendation is that you would actually go ahead and door knock if that person's home is located in an area you want to work. You can cold call the street, or you can send direct mail marketing. Now, out of those three options, quite frankly, door knocking will yield you far better results than any of the other options. If you choose to go after these leads, please make sure you are prospecting the street as a whole and not just that specific subject property. Quite frankly, because the person could be like me and I would probably enter in my neighbor's address because I know it's also comparable to my home. And then you could essentially be targeting the wrong house. The way that our system works with the lead registration, um, so if somebody comes on to look at listings, let's say I click on a listing, the system asks me to register. The person has the ability to bypass it by clicking on view listing. If they click on view listings, they will only be able to bypass the registration for 2 properties. Once they click on the third property, the system will force them to register. That's a setting that's automatic. Now, we've tested whether we allow them to look at 3 listings and then ask them to register first. We've also tested by them clicking on a listing and them registering. We have found by having this the original registration right away that you will yield more leads doing it this way than without. I'll be quite honest, when I started at Agent Locator years ago, this original registration wasn't there, and we only had the registration show up after 2 or 3 listings. And because we've tested it, this one does work far better than allowing them to see some properties. Again, totally up to you how you want to keep the registration settings. If you guys do want to change the registration settings on your own, what you can do is go to websites at the top of your screen. You would then click on your domain name. And on the left-hand side, you're going to see this gray box. You'll just click on Lead Gen Options. When you click on Lead Gen Options, you will have the different registration. You can turn all registration off by clicking this button. The forced registrations is how many listings are they allowed to look at before they have to register. It's defaulted to 3. I've just set mine up for 2 for training purposes. They have the ability to look at photos. They can only look at 20 photos before the system asks them to register. The hide photos registration setting is that original registration, that black and yellow one that shows up as soon as they click on a property. So that can be turned on or off. They have the ability to make them register in order to see the virtual tour or the open house info. Or you have it where they have to validate their account in order to register, in order to see more properties. Now, really, I would tell you to leave the registration settings as your default because we really have gone through and tested it for many, many months. So we really know what works best. Um, but if you want, you can always change it and then we can always change it back if you're not getting the type of leads or the quantity of leads that you're looking for. Yeah, so what you're gonna do is log into your CRM system. You're gonna click on websites at the top, and then you're gonna click on your domain name. Once you click on your domain name, on the left-hand side is the gray box. You're gonna select lead gen options, and then you'll now be taken to the registration settings. So you can turn them on or off, however really you so choose. Now, does anyone else have any other questions? So just one more time, please let me know if you have any other questions. If not, I will get to the person who wants to know how to send out like the birthday or the special days. Oh. So somebody wants to know how to register for the CRM Part 2. So the CRM Part 2 happens once a month. It's actually it's sometime in February. So I will send you the logins, the link for how to register. So that link I just posted is for the CRM Part 2. Now, another thing, if you guys have specific ways that you used your previous CRM system and you're unsure to how to do it in our system, please email me. We can always set up a one-on-one session. I don't mind doing one-on-one sessions when I've already trained you on the basics. So if you prefer to do a one-on-one, especially if you don't want to wait until it's February 9th, this is CRM Part 2. So if you don't want to wait until February, just follow the second link that I've just posted, the Calendly link. This will put you directly into my calendar, and you'll be able to select an empty date and time slot that I have available and whatever works with your schedule, and just set up a 60-minute appointment, and then we can go through any other questions that you have. There are training videos for the CRM Part 2. Keep in mind, the CRM Part 2 is a very interactive, or it's supposed to be very interactive. So depending on the questions that have been asked, each CRM Part 2 ends up being quite different. I will also send you the link for the CRM Part 2. That can also be done through the Zendesk. So this is the link for the CRM Part 2. I'm posting it right now. There are a few videos on this one just because they change each time. Now, since we still have about 10 minutes, I'm going to go over very, very quickly how to send a birthday email to a specific person. Now, you can create your own birthday emails if you want, or if you want to use the ones that we have, what you're going to do is you're going to click on emails at the top, and then you're going to click on email templates. Now, this step that I'm showing you right now only needs to be done once, just because we have to install the special emails. So once you click on email and email template, you're going to see the install new email button on the left. Please go ahead and click on it. You're going to see where it says special days, events, and templates. You would just click on that, and you're going to click on install all. That will then install those emails for you. After it's been installed, you're going to click on the lead's name that you want. You can click on the email tab. We're going to click on send email. Now, this is only if it's for a birthday, because if it's for a birthday, we're sending it directly to that one person. So from here, I'm going to go where it says saved email, and I'm going to scroll down and find the happy birthday template. And I will zoom out. So each template looks a little bit different, and you would just update the information. So it's going to say, Dear Ria, you can go ahead and update your information here. And then once you're done, you'll just click on send and it'll send it out. Now I just did that really, really quickly on the CRM part 2, or if you watch any of the videos, I'll actually go through and show you how to change your logo and how to do all of that stuff. So if you have leads in another CRM system, or you have leads in an Excel spreadsheet, we can definitely import them into the agent locator system. It is not something that our clients are able to do, and that was just done for ease of use. So if you want, create a CSV file or an Excel spreadsheet with all of the leads that you have. Please make sure there are information that we need is the person's first name, their last name, their email, their phone number. I would recommend making sure you have a lead type in there so you know what type of person they are and the lead status. And then all you're going to do is send that email to support, and support's email is support@agentlocator.ca. Once you send them that CSV file, they'll import it for you. It's usually done within 10-15 minutes. Our support staff is amazing and does things really quickly. The only time they might take a little bit longer to do something is if you contact them, let's say around 4 o'clock in the afternoon when they're finishing up all of their tasks for the day, then you might have to wait until the next day. But if you do it in the morning or afternoon, usually it'll get done absolutely right away. Now, that's the end of today's webinar. So if anybody has any other questions, please do put it in the chat function, or you can email me directly. I will leave the chat open for a little while longer. And thank you everyone for attending. I hope you got a good idea of the basic functionality of the Agent Locator CRM system.